Good evening, everybody. It's time for more weather, right? 48 News Weather Extra. We're going to talk a lot more about the weekend forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. But right now, we're going to talk about the weather the next few days. A front's coming in tonight. It's not producing any rain, and the temperatures really aren't dropping a whole lot. But what we're looking at is a north wind coming in, a really nice day coming tomorrow. And then the winds start to come back out of the south. So what you're going to notice as we enter the weekend is the humidity. One thing that was kind of lacking this past Sunday was a lot of humidity. Sure, we had some stronger storms late, had some hail, but you're definitely going to feel the air around you by Sunday afternoon. In fact, Sunday afternoon looks nice. It's Sunday night that is the problem. We're going to talk about that coming up here in just a few minutes, but of course, we are going to talk about this, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll get right into going to talk about the Cape. The energy helicity index is coming our way, all those variables, and they're all getting a little bit higher in regards to the severe weather threat coming up Sunday. Temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s out there right now. Talking about your Wednesday, about 45 degrees to start the day, 62 at 11. It's one of those days where you're going to dress in layers more than likely, especially if you're working outside most of the day and you don't have that opportunity to go in and put the shorts on. Not that you're going to need shorts tomorrow. Today, it wasn't a bad idea for shorts. My wife actually laid out today. That's what happens when you get retired and you're still in your 50s. You get time to lay out. So again, she got sunburnt today. So make sure you got that sunscreen on. If you're going to lay out, it's almost getting to be pool time weather, at least warm enough to where you lay out by the pool. And we'll see that a little bit tomorrow, but more so Thursday and Friday. The other thing you want to watch out is when we get these high thin clouds, they've got ice crystals and they act like a magnifying glass. So that's what creates the sunburn factor just a little bit more per se than you would see. Let's see, this thing on YouTube still says stream starting soon, so it must just be kind of delayed because Facebook's right on. So we're good there. But temperatures right now down south, Tuscaloosa at 65, 69 in Jackson, Mississippi. But notice the colder air. It's just off 2 hour north, and that's where it's going to stay. We're talking 40s is as low as we're going to go. But I mentioned this yesterday. We will have a dogwood winter and we will have a blackberry winter. We've already had the redbud winter, and you can't really tell this far out when it's going to be, but the model guidance is trending towards April 7th, 8th, or 9th. That may be our last threat for a frost and freeze, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a terrible freeze, but enough where you're going to have to cover things up. So again, that could be coming towards the end of the first full week of April. So temperatures out west, Great Bend, Kansas in the 60s. Tulsa, Oklahoma, not bad at 61. But the front's coming in. There's a few high clouds out there. We had a pretty nice sunset this evening. And what we're going to see is a clearing sky overnight tonight. In fact, I looked outside on the way back into work tonight from my dinner break, and man, it's a really clear sky out there. Water vapor. Take a look at that big swirl off the coast of California. That's what's going to be coming in as we go into the weekend. So we're going to watch that storm system. Again, the Storm Prediction Center has a very large area outlook. It's not surprising. There's a lot of instability out there, but that doesn't mean we're going to see severe weather in that entire area that you see floating around on social media. I've seen a lot of tornado outbreak language from the usual suspects. I'll just put it that way. And it's just scare tactics. We're not going to go down that road. Wind tomorrow, I don't think we'll see too many wind gusts. In fact, really nice day wind-wise tomorrow. It'll be out of the north-northwest, though, around 4 to 8 miles an hour. Am I going to add David? No, I don't think I'm going to have to add David Paul's pool. Again, earlier I posted. I've been spreading sand out left over from my brick project on the garage. It was all in the driveway. And my yard's been lumpy since I had a bad excavation job done on it. Anyway, the lumpy sod. So I'm trying to fix that before the heavy rain came. And David Paul, meteorologist down in Dothan, one of my buddies, we're going to go fishing here next week, in fact. He photoshopped beautiful swimming pool, covered the whole backyard. And believe it or not, I have thought of that idea, but I just don't know if I'm ready for a pool again. We've got a great public pool in my subdivision, so I'll probably keep that and the headaches of maintaining the pool. Since the kids, pretty much out of the house. Of course, down the road, you never know if you're going to have grandkids or not. But we'll see. That may be down the road. Just depends. If I get a really big bonus, like Art Griswold, I may put in a pool. I'll probably get the Jelly of the Month Club versus that, though. Here's your Saturday, Sunday time frame. Again, Saturday, the rain starts to move in during the afternoon, and once it moves in, it's probably going to rain the rest of the day. Maybe a rumble of thunder, but I don't see any severe weather with it. Now, Sunday, don't cancel your plans. Go about, but just stay weather alert Sunday night. This could move in some areas around midnight, Sunday night into Monday, but it's definitely going to have that feel to it. So here's your 3-day forecast. Really nice. It's nice to have a cold front move through, and on the other side, it's still in the 70s. That's usually what happens this time of year, unless we get the dogwood winter or the blackberry winter, and those are on the way. We just don't know exactly when. 80 on Friday. It'll be mostly cloudy, but you're really going to start to feel that humidity. The hummingbirds should really be coming back Thursday and Friday. From what I found out, hummingbirds are really lazy. They like to wait on that south wind to pick them up and push them north. And when you add humidity in the air, the birds can sense that. And they're probably going to be coming on in, so get those feeders ready and avoid the red dye stuff. And again, it's best to just make it at home. You can find those recipes, the safe recipes for the hummingbirds online. And when you start to see those hummingbirds, go ahead and feel free to share some pictures. We'll send them out too. Going to start this break here. Again, it's a minute break. We'll be right back. I'm going to talk about everything you need to know that we know right now regarding the threat for severe weather Sunday night into Monday. All right, everybody, we've got about 5 more seconds here. All right, the break is over, and we are back to your regularly scheduled program. All right, so there's that 3-day forecast. Nice and pretty, right? And then it gets stormy as we head into the weekend. So let's take a look at this forecast, and what we're going to see here, this is the storm energy. Excuse me, my nose is... Somebody must be thinking about me. Is that how that goes? If your nose is itching? Now, this is probably the highest instability in Cape we've dealt with so far this year. And it does add the severity to the storm system, but overall it doesn't mean we're going to have widespread severe weather. It just means the potential energy. So this is what I mean by 1:30 Sunday afternoon. It's going to kind of feel like a strong to severe thunderstorm kind of day. So tomorrow, we'll probably make the decision to go with the first alert weather day based on what we're seeing here. So we're looking at quite a bit of Cape. And when you look at these numbers, anything above 1,000 joules per kilogram, that's what the J stands for. Scientific, right? Joules per kilogram. What this is the buoyancy of the air. How favorable is the air to rise when acted upon by a force that's going to lift it? So we're going to have a lifting mechanism. Now, initially, we may be capped. That may be too warm above, but that cap's going to break at some point late Sunday evening. Notice how we just continue to stay right below 2,000 joules per kilogram. And then then we get closer, though, by 4:30. So that's when we probably hit 80 or 82. Forecast models are going about 82 for the high. Let's see other questions it got on here. Well, we're getting into Sunday right now. As far as getting bad, I think we're going to have a lot of thunderstorms with a lot of lightning come Sunday night. We're going to go through that here hour by hour in just a second. Notice how much higher the Cape starts to get right across the state line in Mississippi. And again, that's going to feed these thunderstorms. So as we go past 9:30, there's plenty of fuel for strong to severe storms. The Cape is above 2,000. And it starts to drop, and that's because the storms are coming in and they're feeding off of that. So I'm going to show you the Energy Helicity Index. This is really critical for tornado threats. I do see a tornado threat here Sunday night. We're starting to see these numbers climb. Anything above a 1 value is enough for tornadoes, and we're getting anything anywhere from 2.5 to 3. So that's concerning. However, this environment here will likely be capped. It means we've got a lid on the atmosphere, so it's possible the storm mode could be a MCS type system, a mesoscale convective system, and if that's the case, it lowers the supercell threat ahead of it, but the line of storms will be rather intense as it moves in. So I'm expecting a lot of lightning, very heavy rain, damaging wind gusts with this as it moves in from the north, and this area of shear is going to weaken some right ahead of the thunderstorms as they come in, but still enough to be concerned about the threat for severe weather Sunday night. Again, it's a nighttime event coming in, and overnight into Monday morning, this is all going to just fall apart basically. So if you're going to be getting up early Monday morning and traveling, maybe headed south, it's still going to be raining, thundering, and lightning, probably down towards Birmingham. So here's a look at what we're more used to looking at. And this is the winds that are going to be raining and how hard it's raining. We'll take you back to Saturday here. And the morning hours are going to be dry. It's as we get past 11 o'clock to noon, we're going to start to see the chance for these showers and thunderstorms to fire up. Notice this area just completely spreads across all of North Alabama and most of Middle Tennessee. This is going to be in the form of scattered, moderate, potentially isolated heavy rainfall, but no threat for severe weather here Saturday. And temperatures are going to be rain cooled into the mid 60s, so we may reach a high of 70 and then drop back into the 60s as we go through the rest of the day. Now here's what I mean by watching a complex of thunderstorms. Notice this area we may have supercells to the north in northern Tennessee and parts of Kentucky, and those may eventually form a line of storms that drop southeast. So again, that's what we mean by storm mode. We don't exactly know what the storm mode is going to be, because if we're capped all afternoon Sunday, you've got this air that's rising, and it's rising to a point where it's got a lid on it, kind of like when you're maybe you're making rice and you got all that steam. You don't know it's there until you take the lid off, and then the steam rises and you burn yourself every now and then. But that's what the cap is. It's like a lid on the boiling water. And once you remove that lid, the thunderstorms blow up. But in this scenario here, the most likely outcome I'm seeing is a complex of thunderstorms dropping in with a lot of lightning, very heavy rain, damaging isolated wind gusts, and a low-end tornado threat here. So again, that's what you should be preparing for. Here's your 10-day forecast. Really nice. Enjoy this. Again, Mother Nature likes to tease us in really nice weather and then beat us up on the weekend. That's what's going to happen by Sunday night. So just say weather alert, and we'll keep you up to date. There's still several days out. Again, if we're seeing the same thing in the model guidance we've been seeing the last 2 days for Sunday, we'll probably go first alert weather day tomorrow for that. We cool off a bit by the early part of next week, and then we're kind of right back in the storm machine process from Mother Nature with scattered showers and storms. Some could be strong Wednesday and Thursday. So 'tis the season for that. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We've got planning on flying out of Nashville at 9:45 p.m. Sunday. I would try to get out early in the day, Donna. I would keep an eye on it, but I mean, as you get closer, it's harder to change your flight, and maybe more expensive to change your flight, things like that. So I would probably think of something a little earlier, because it's probably going to be right on top of them at that time. And they may have flight delays early in the afternoon as well due to the incoming weather. We're not going to see an all-day outbreak. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I got to get ready for that 10 o'clock newscast. Thanks for wherever you're tuning in from. A lot of you on YouTube, a lot of social media, Facebook. We've got our Roku and our Apple TV apps. You get that. And also our 48 First Alert Weather app. So download that today. Thanks again for tuning in.